A warm welcome and very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Swavalambhi Navodpad, an exhibition cum presentation of technologies developed by Sri Chitratanda Institute for Medical Science and Technology, Trivandrum. We would like to welcome all dignitaries, especially Professor Ashutosh Sharma, the President of INSA and former Secretary of DST. Under his leadership, we have started the major program, a technology research center, and why with all the technology developed during that time, we are present here. Now we are going to make a presentation before our actual function at 11 o'clock. So we are going to have individual presentation and of these technologies and products. To begin with, the present medtech innovations through Sri Chitra TimeMed, and Mr. Balram will start.
Warm good morning to all our esteemed and distinguished dignitaries and friends. It's indeed a great moment for all of us from the Sri Chitra fraternity to be here and showcasing some of the medical devices developed and transferred to industry partners, and with whom we continue to work to bring it to market. We are confident that this will not only pave way for self-reliance in high quality yet affordable medical devices in the country for our citizens, but also support India's aspirations and vision for global leadership in medtech. Apart from our own R&D programs, which is contributing to indigenous development of medical devices in the country, Institute also has an incubator called TimeMed, which is catalyzing innovation in medtech from startups and innovators all over the country. I have the pleasant task to share with you briefly how TimeMed supports medtech innovation. We are very proud that this incubator started with the support of Department of Science and Technology, and we implement their flagship programs like Nidhi Prayas, and we are partnered with BIRAC, NBM, and all the ecosystem players in the country. And like an incubator, we support innovators who come with a seed of an idea and give them all the nourishments required to take them all the way from the market, and in the case of medical devices, navigating the regulatory pathway. We have set up a very nice physical infrastructure, and these are some of the pictures. One of the infrastructure we have invested is in a pilot manufacturing facility and clean room, which is very essential for startups in their initial phase to validate their products and get the test market and manufacturing licenses. A typical day of startups working at TimeMed would be like this. And we support student innovators, researchers, faculties, some practicing medical and dental professionals, and experienced professionals from industry who utilize our ecosystem for areas like digital health or imaging, public health, orthotics, point-of-care devices, etc., etc. Some of our products which has been developed and commercialized by the startups includes SCTIMST, an oral cancer detection screening device, which is low-cost, portable, and it has met the approval from the CDCSO, CE marking, and all the quality systems. And it is now being used extensively across the country in screening of oral cancer. This was a student startup which continued their project work into a commercially viable product, addressing the problems associated with IV, which is happening all across the country. Wafer Chips has developed BioCalculus, a very small wireless cardiac monitoring device which can monitor the ECG and send it to your smartphone for over 10 days and detect any abnormalities and alert the clinicians or on the app. And I'm very proud that this has come out from a tier 3 city in the country and started by a women engineer. This is a dentist, orthodontist practicing on orthodontics who found the challenges in the dental appliance being used and came up with an innovative solution which makes it very easy for them to put it on the patients. And this has been supported by the Department of Sciences Technologies Nidhi Prayas scheme. Alicon is a startup which took the technology from the institute and has got the approval from the drug controller and is now piloting this in some of the major hospitals in the country. Bilin started by a dentist, practicing dentist, who found that many of the elderly people and people who have gone chemotherapy are not able to swallow food and medicine, so she came with a hydration patch. This is a young innovator from Gujarat who came up with a solution for some surgical instruments, laparoscopic instruments. We have a startup working on advanced exoskeleton device for making rehabilitation easy. And of course, some social innovators who come with ideas like nutrient, which makes use of otherwise waste product from the farm, which will give an additional income to the farmers. So in short, TiMed is today a complete ecosystem for medtech innovation and a launchpad for several startups, and many of them working in advanced stages of commercialization. And I would like to thank the Department of Science and Technology and all our partners for supporting us, and we look forward to the continued support. Thank you.
A very warm good morning to all. I am Dr. Shyam. I will be presenting a brief overview of the deep brain stimulation system which SCTIMST has developed in collaboration with the Baba Atomic Research Center. Deep brain stimulation is a therapy which has been in practice for more than 40 years now. This emerged as a therapy for movement disorders like Parkinson's disease, essential tremor, and dystonia to control the disabling symptoms like tremors, other abnormal movements, interfering with activities, slowness of movements, etc. This doesn't treat the underlying disease, but it targets the neural circuit abnormalities responsible for symptoms in the patients, and thus and thereby it controls the symptoms and improves the quality of life of the patient. So Parkinson's disease is the most common indication for deep brain stimulation. The others include various types of dystonic disorders, essential tremor, Tourette syndrome, etc. And a lot of other indications are emerging for deep brain stimulation technology, including obsessive compulsive disorder, refractory epilepsy, refractory depression, and even Alzheimer's disease, for which it is an experimental therapy now. So SCTIMST did its first deep brain stimulation surgery in June 1999. And that was for a patient with Parkinson's disease. This is the commonest condition for which DBS is done by SCTIMST also. The patients suffer from a variety of disorders, a variety of movement disorders like tremors, stiffness of limbs, slowness of movements, and poor balance. And a low energy electrical stimulation of brain targets using electrodes implanted in the brain controls these symptoms. DBS employs a pulse generator and a set of platinum electrodes to achieve the required effects. So this is the deep brain stimulator system. There is an external recharger by which you can recharge the pulse generator, and then there is an implanted pulse generator, and there are leads which are going into the brain and stimulating specific targets areas inside the brain. So this is the Anuchitra deep brain stimulator which was developed by SCTIMST. And the industry partner is Sri Paystronics, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Thank you.
So good morning, Chitra left ventricular assist device. So I'm Nagesh. I have pleasure having Professor Vivek, who is a clinical PA. So we together along with our team, represent our team for the left ventricular assist device, and our industrial partner also is there, Kevin and Vatsal. And this is developed by Sri Chitra, started as part of the TRC funded by the DST project. We have most of my colleagues are here as part of the investigators. And this is concerned, as far our part is concerned, we have done extensive evaluation based on CFD simulation, in vitro evaluation, then using LVAD simulator, then ex vivo animal evaluation in 6 animals. So those things we have done very extensively, and this is where animal trial has been carried out up to 6 hours. Professor Vivek has led the part of the animal evaluation, and I request Professor Vivek to give the clinical significance.
Good morning. Just I'll give you a clinical perspective about the significance and the impact of ventricular assist devices. So if you look at heart failure has two components, basically one with good ejection fraction where the pumping is okay but the filling is not good, but the worst variety is where both the pumping as well as the filling of the heart are impaired. So in such cases the incidence, the mortality is around 23% per year in such patients. The options for them are either guideline directed medical therapy or mechanical circulatory assist devices like our ventricular assist device or heart transplantation. Now, if you look at the patients that require heart transplant a year in India, it's about 50,000, but if you see the numbers being done around 200 to 250, so we have a large vacuum in an area where the patients are directed towards medical therapy, which has got actually a mortality of probably around 40-50% in a year. And the stopgap mechanism for that is the assist devices. So assist devices can function basically in three ways: either as a bridge to transplant, a bridge to recovery, or as a destination therapy. In our population, where the socioeconomic background is not so good, if you go for a HeartMate 3, which is the only one that's commercially available, that's a cost around 1 crore. So if you go for a bridge to transplant, for that patient cannot spend probably 1 crore for that and then wait another 6 months and take a heart that again costs around 40 lakhs. So the technology is very important for us, and the thing is, because it's highly complicated device, it's actually we require a lot of partnerships, interagency, inter-institute, as well as we need a robust industry support. People who have shared ideas, and there are a convergence of capacities, so that we can bring out a product in a particular limited time. Within a budget. So we are happy to have our industry partner, one of the biggest medtech group in India. They've been supporting us very well, and then we hope to take it forward. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. This is about synthetic bone, and we have developed the hydroxyapatite and related bioceramic bone substitutes which can be used in a setting of infection in lung and as well as the spine bones of the body. Over to you, my bioceramic head, Dr. Harikrishna Verma.
So as Dr. Ishwar was mentioning, many of the cases in the post-surgical infections, which is due to even the people, surgeons close the wound, and then after a month or so they come again with severe infection. So this is why, because of the bacteria loaded already during the accidents, will never be able to go out of the sleeve whether you give a antibiotic injection or not. So so currently what is the local approach is using a PMMA, a plastic bead containing gentamicin or drugs, which is related, but the major problem, you have to take it out after some time. So we were thinking of a totally new system where once its purpose is over, up to 30 days the drug will be delivered to the site, and it will slowly resorb and made into the form of bone.
So what we wanted as a clinician was that we need the high quantity of antibiotic at the local site of the infection. Now in conventional situations, we can deliver this antibiotic only either as intravenous or oral or intramuscular. The problem with that is the amount of antibiotic that is reaching the site of infection is only a minuscule part of what you have administered. So what we have developed is a bioceramic bead containing an antibiotic which releases the antibiotic over the next 3 weeks to 1 month. This has been proved in our clinical studies, preclinical studies here. We also had a clinical trial in the long bones in pediatric population at the Christian Medical College at Vellore. So the advantage of this is hydroxyapatite is a synthetic bone but similar to mammalian bone. and it is biocompatible. It gets absorbed over several years. But then what is important is that it releases the antibiotic that is stored inside it over the next 1 month, ensuring that there is a high concentration of the antibiotic available locally at the site of infection to fight the microbes there.
Lastly, it was the major challenge of this from a lab to industry. This is wholly automation, because a manual process has to be completely transferred to a automated system. And when all our team members helped in this realizing and transfer the technology to the Onyx Medical Private Limited in Roorkee, and astonishingly, within 2 years, they got the drug control approval, and the product is in the market. And I'm extremely happy that Onyx team to present you. Thank you.
Most important thing about it is you can load the antibiotic on the table when the surgery is going on, just by drawing the hydroxyapatite beads containing lot of pores into which the antibiotic gets absorbed. And this antibiotic beads, loaded beads, is implanted at the site of infection, and over the next 3 weeks to 1 month, the antibiotic gets eluted out slowly, ensuring that there is a high concentration of the antibiotic available to control and contain the infection. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Uma Shankar, and Dr. Vivek is with me, who is the clinical PI of this project. And I also invite Mr. Vijay and Suresh, if possible, they can also come to the dais. And they are the company who have taken this technology, BL Life Sciences, New Delhi. Actually, this program is about developing a prosthetic heart valve. This is a biological valve which has obvious advantage over a mechanical heart valve, which our institute has already commercialized in 1990. The first version came to market in 1990 actually. The second version is undergoing a clinical trial now. So this, why biological valve? Because this has several other advantages, such as no anticoagulation is required, and only problem is it can be implanted only in patients above 50 years because of the propensity for the calcification. So here we have developed this particular valve, and based on our data, we feel that this valve will have a durability almost comparable to what is available in the market now. It will be an affordable valve, and we are happy that BL Life Sciences, from an Indian company, is shown interest, and they have taken this technology. And these are the different tests we have completed, and it's ready for scale up. I will request Dr. Vivek to share his experience about this valve.
Yeah, another thing about from the clinician point of view, the number of valve replacements being done in India around 30,000 a year, and most of it is the mechanical valves, and a short percentage is the biprosthetic valves. As Dr. Umashankar had mentioned, because the durability is the main weak point. But when we do a SWOT analysis, our strength is probably the design, weakness is the leaflet tissue. There's great opportunity for marketing, as well as the threat is the early degeneration of this valve. So what we have tried is our own proprietary patented phospholipid removal and aldehyde capping technology, so that will probably give us a durable leaflet pericardium. As Chitra, as everybody is aware, we are mature in the field of valve replacements. Our second generation Chitra valve 2 is under a private single center. Human trials are over, outstanding results. Then we're probably going for the multicentric very soon with BIRAC support. So I think next ambitious project for us, I was discussing with our Umashankar, is to go for a biomimetic polymer, that probably can replace the pericardium. That will give a durability of probably 30-40 years, so that it's a one-time surgery for the patient, and will not have any defects associated with the mechanical valve, like thrombosis, stroke, and all that. And then we would like to thank BL Life Sciences, because for taking over our technology. I think it shows the trust they have in our institute, as well as and they have a good marketing ecosystem they have developed, so they'll probably get this to the market very quickly. I'll call Abhijay to say a few words.
Thank you everyone for having us. We're really excited to take over this technology and the efforts that Dr. Umashankar has put into this and try and commercialize it and bring it into the market. To give you a little bit of background, BA Life Sciences has been around for 40 years and we're one of the premier cardiac surgery disposable manufacturers in India. And we're really excited to see how we can leverage this technology and bring it to patients as soon as possible. Thank you.
A very good morning to everyone. I'll be changing the scenario and going into in vitro diagnostics. Here I'll be talking about Rapidogram, which is a rapid diagnostic kit for detecting urinary infections, and it will give the antibiotic sensitivity, empowering the clinician to use suitable antibiotic depending upon the sensitivity of the pathogen causing the UTI. So just on the lighter side, this won the Best Innovation Award at the ASEAN Indian Women Scientists Conclave in 2024 in Singapore. As all of you know, women are the focus point here because they suffer maximally from UTI. Almost 90% of women have an incidence of UTI in the course of their lifetime. Now the advantages of this kit are, it addresses an urgent clinical need. Microbiological investigations are time consuming and requires more than 48 to 75 hours if you really need to get the investigative report, and current no such kit is available globally. This kit diagnoses UTI and gives the antibiotic sensitivity within 3 to 6 hours, 6 hours being when you get a negative report. So it is novel, it is rapid, and it needs current microbiological investigations need a high-end sophisticated microbiology laboratory and trained manpower. This can be done in any primary healthcare setting and in a small clinic by a healthcare worker. The kit is self-sufficient. It contains everything needed for the test except an incubator at 37 degrees centigrade. So what happens is it prevents empirical use of antibiotic, preventing development of antimicrobial resistance, and clinicians can make an informed choice. ICMR has done the third-party validation and already published in Nature Scientific Reports, and according to them, the kit has very high specificity, 99.6%, high sensitivity, 90.6%, and a test accuracy of more than 96%. So their conclusion was it is a valid point-of-care device and may be considered for rolling out in primary and secondary level healthcare setting. And there is a short video. I hope I can play it. This is my PhD student who is doing that. It's self-contained, you don't really need anything else, and the results are by visual observation. And it's directly done from the urine sample from the patient. and you can record the observations and know which antibiotic is sensitive and which is resistant. And this is the publication that came out. Okay, and I would like to thank all the funding agencies. Like the first funding came obviously from DST, then ICMR, and all the support from our industrial partner Agape Diagnostics, who actually, when we transferred the technology, we only had 6 antibiotics. Now there are 12 in the panel. So they helped us to, upgrade the kit. So my thanks to all the collaborators and my team in Sri Chitra. Thank you all.
Excuse me. Respected dignitaries, guests, beloved director, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to talk about advanced wound care products. Intention is to promote faster wound healing with minimal scarring in wounds of patients. I use pig gallbladder for fabricating wound healing products, which is already in market now, and Ms. Alicon Medical, and we have got a technology to isolate extracellular matrix from pig gallbladder and use it. And animal-derived tissue grafts for wound healing is not new, but Indians, we don't have that technology until this product came out. We used to import products worth rupees 1 lakh for each piece. Now the technology is with us, and it promotes faster healing. We have worked out the molecular mechanism, cellular mechanism, how it heals faster. And cholecyst is the name of scientific name of gallbladder, cholyderm. So that is how the name stemmed out. And this was given formal approval for marketing and sale by Drugs Controller, CDSCO, in June 2023. And it was widely applauded by both DST and Government of India. And the beauty of the thing is, based on this basic technology, it can be coated with gelatin. It will promote diabetic wound healing faster. Gold nanoparticle coated material can be used as a cardiac patch. It can be converted into powder form, gel form for mitigating tissue reactions on polymeric biomedical devices, and it can also be converted into injectable gel. So there is potential application, many potential applications for this basic scaffold. Thank you very much.
Very good morning to all. I am Dr. Manoj from Bioceramics Lab. We have a dedicated lab over there, as Dr. Verma has been explaining. We are synthesizing materials as per requirement of surgeons for mainly for bone grafting and further for drug delivery applications. Now, Dr. Ishwar will explain what's their clinical need of this particular product.
This is actually a continuation of the work, the efforts in the lab, same lab, the bioceramics lab at the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Science and Technology. The earlier one was on hydroxyapatite, and this is on calcium phosphate sulfate, which is again an osteoinductor, which means that it induces the local skeleton to produce more bone there. Okay, now what is important here is that we use this calcium phosphate sulfate in two situations. The first is when you have a diabetic foot, which progresses into your metatarsal bones and end up in amputation because of local infection. The second is for periodontal infections, especially around the jaw bones and other things. So again, the same principle, that is, the pores inside holds the antibiotic and releases it over a long period. Also, it induces new bone formation. So it's a win-win situation. We can contain the infection as well as we can have new bone formed there at the local site, which helps the healing of the wound earlier, especially in diabetic foot ulcers, which involves the bones of the leg or the foot.
So the surgeon has told his requirement. Now it's our headache or means duty to develop the material. So we took all the requirements and we thought a cement-like material will be more ideal. And we don't have much choice in ceramic. If you go for bone graft material, we have only choice of calcium sulfates or phosphates. And in calcium sulfate, the interesting part is that we have gypsum based cements, which will go into cementing structure when we add water. Simply we can add water. So we have developed such a cement, and novelty is that this is containing calcium sulfate as well as calcium phosphate, and the setting mechanism will be gypsum setting mechanism, but bioactive part will be contributed by the phosphate containing content. So we designed the material right from the scratch, and this is my student working on this material. We started as a student project in 2010, and all these years we had been working on this biological evaluation up to preclinical animal studies, and through animal studies we could prove that this is a inductive material, which which will help in healing bone. And also being as a cement, we can add antibiotic very easily, and we had studied all the drug list characteristics, and limited clinical studies were done. Then this product was actually we did pilot production and packaging studies over there in our facility itself. Then Technology Transphonics Medicals came and took the technology in 2022, and within a small quickly they could get the license, and now the product is in the market in the name of Caspro. And this actually powder liquid packaging. Doctors can mix antibiotic at the site, whichever of their interest, and place it in the required position, like in diabetic foot and all. So our industry partner also is there. So now the product is in the market. Would you like to thank?
Good morning, everyone. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Manoj under his guidance that we were able to commercialize the technology in just an year. Initially, we faced some challenges owing to the drying period of the cement, but his continued research that he was able to give us a formulation that overcome the challenges of the drying period, and the drying period came down to just under 5 to 10 minutes, whereas initially it was somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes. So the doctors were able to lessen the period of the time where the wound is open. So the 5 minutes period is quite a good time that the implantation of the cement can be done and close the wound at that time. So extreme gratitude to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, a very good morning to every one of you, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. Today, the idea for this originated during the COVID lockdown period. We have developed an automatic smart bin for disinfection of hospital waste by using a UV enabled microwave technology. The problem was there was a lot of time taken for the infected material to be sent to incinerator. It takes some 2 days because the waste are being collected. Tons of waste are being produced, infected material from the patients, and being collected in different parts from small clinics to big hospitals, and then go to a common incinerator. So that has caused a lot of health hazards to healthcare workers. Many people have died during COVID time. So we thought that we should have a solution for this, so that there is selective decontamination of all the infected material then and there at the point of generation is also one of the good idea. So we developed an automatic smart bin for the point of care disinfection. So the technology used is a combination of the microwave and the UV waves. So this is mixed together at the same time. And this was actually technology developed in 2020. At the time there was limited literature. Now the use of this technology has expanded widely. In China and Japan, they are using for decontamination of food materials, milk and milk products, as well as the decontamination of the water also. A recent article has shown that combination of microwave and the ultraviolet, the point which is extensive damage it causes to the microorganism by causes lipid peroxidation as compared to individually using UV or microwave. So the technology we have patented and also published, and also our commercial partner is Forster Medica and SS Med. So this is a small animation of the video how this non-touch technique is being developed at the point of care.
Process. A sensor detects your hand. The lid opens and you place the waste inside. The lid closes automatically and a 60-second disinfection cycle starts. Inside, the tray rotates while UV rays and microwave radiation penetrate the waste, breaking down the molecular structure of bacteria and viruses to render them harmless. A blinking LED signals completion. After about 24 hours of use, or when full, open the manual door, remove the tray, and dispose of the sterilized waste. Replace the tray, and the bin is ready again.
Currently, the status of this product is this is in under industrial design. Probably it will be commercialized probably in 2 or 3 months. Thank you so much.
It begins with a simple hands-free.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So, in fact, during this stage, we just wanted to really thank the body which has really helped us believe in this technology. We've been with microwave technology now for almost 20 years because of the blessings from the institution. The interesting part about this product was that it had to be a lot re-engineering had to be brought in because of biomedical waste could be of different weights, and thus the motorized mechanism could lead to certain challenges. So those design changes are happened in-house, and the magnetrons and ultraviolet now are getting used through a sterilization mechanism where neither the bottom tray has to rotate nor the magnetron has to rotate. Thus it balances out the challenge of even distribution of the weight inside the unit or even the weight challenge also. And like sir shared, the commercial version will be out very soon, sir. Thank you for your time.
Good morning to dignitaries and my colleagues. My product is liquid embolic materials. So this is a device to address a clinical condition in the brain which is called arteriovenous malformation, which is basically a tangling of abnormal blood vessels within the arteries connecting the veins without a normal capillary bed. So usually this is associated with the headache, seizures, weakness, numbness or paralysis, vision problems, speech and movement issues, and other symptoms like lumps or swelling, pain and bleeding it is hard to stop. There are many treatment options available, and the simplest and easiest technology and treatment option is endovascular embolization, which is based on using a catheter and delivering a liquid into that abnormal artery, and the liquid will precipitate in the presence of the blood. So this is a simple technique with less intervention. The technology developed is liquid embolic material, which is injectable and is radiopaque. Usually radiopacity is imparted by metal particles. In this case, without any metal, we have imparted radiopacity by incorporating iodine into the polymer. Then we have different viscosity ranges, and this, when it comes in contact with the blood, this liquid will precipitate and embolize the artery. This is a class D neurovascular devices, and the industrial partner has come up with the packaging and delivery systems, which is already shown here. And the advantage is there is no preparation needed. Currently, the devices require shaking in a shaker so that the suspended metal particles will disperse in the medium. In this is a clear liquid, so that directly you can use it for injection. Then homogeneity and consistency is guaranteed, which has again optimum visibility, and there is no metal particles present in the system. We also have patented this thing in US, Europe, and again 3 Indian patents are for this product. And again, for this technology, we got a National Petrochemical Award in 2022. And the industrial partner is Biorad Medicis, and the technology is transferred in 2022. I also thank DST for the funding, and now I invite technology partners to comment on the product status.
Yeah, thank you for having us here. Very briefly, I'll just let you know that we got the technology from Sri Chitra, and our chemical engineers were trained in Sri Chitra for synthesis of this radiopic liquid embolic fluid. And once the training was done, then we carried out our pilot studies in our own facility at Biorad Medicis in Pune. And now we are at a stage that we have completed the validation, including the sterilization, and completed even the DHF, and we will be getting our CDSCO license for manufacturing very soon. And the product is now ready for commercial manufacturing, in the sense that we have put up our reactor for the various reactions, the filtration units, and the clean room. Everything is set up. So I hope soon it will see the light of the day. And I'll just ask our marketing partner to say how it is different from the other parts.
Thank you for the opportunity, and it's an honor to be here in front of all you dignitaries, and it gives me a real high to talk about this product, because we've been working on it for quite some time now, and the initial feedback has been quite interesting. How it differs from the other products in the market is, right now what we have is products that are made from Europe, and they're coming to India. They have tantalum in it, which is a metal that provides radio opacity. What Sri Chitra has developed is a fantastic offering where you can reduce the effect of metal-based artifacts in CT and MRI. You can, your neurosurgeons are helped, because now you do not have a metal that interferes with the cautery. So it's a very unique product. We look forward to launching it soon, and thank you once again for having us here.
Good morning, all. I am here to present our product on the gelatin modified bioink for 3D bioprinting. This was started as a core research program. I am Dr. Anil Kumar. Dr. Shaini is a polymer chemist who developed this system. When we started this project as a development of hepatotoxicity test system, it is on 3D bioprinting. To print, we need ink, and the ink contains living cells, so we call it as bioink. At that time, there was no bioink just to purchase and develop the system, so we have to develop that ink, and so we made this as ink for soft organs like liver, kidney, pancreas, and we have tried few organ cells. So with that, the video shows how it 3D bioprint and how it cross-links with UV. Coming to the need for this project, animal experiment is very expensive, time-consuming, labor-intensive. There is interspecies differences. It is ethically challenging, and more than one species is required to clinically prove it. But despite that, when it comes to clinical trial, 1/3 drug candidate will fail. So we have to get a robust, clinically relevant test system. So if we use human cells, that will be very robust system. So in this project, we have two products. One is the bioink itself to print 3D construct, and second is the test system where we can test the drugs. And I'm happy to inform you that the bioink is now, technology is transferred to the industry. We have the industry partner, Dr. Kujos, who is from the Sire Science Private Limited. And the test system is now offered to the customers on in our institute. So this is the novelty. Gelatin is modified, and the modified gelatin can be cross-linked with UV when it is mixed with cells. It is porous, it is 3D printable, and it has got a property that is our innovation, which is UV protection. Because this is cross-linked with UV, the UV will harm the cells. So we made a formulation where the cells are protected. We call it as UV shielding. That is why it is called UVS. And the graph shows that when the monolayer of cells which we take from tissues are not functional for drug metabolism. In 3D bioprinted construct, we can see that over 14 days the drug metabolism enzymes is highly active. So the proof of concept is established. We have established that there is a species-specific difference when the same drug is given to rat construct and human construct. There is species-specific difference. So it is very robust, and we believe that it is clinically relevant. This technology was patented, and the patent is granted, and the technology was transferred, and the industry could commercialize it very fast within 6 months. And we didn't stop it there. We are now taking it to transplantation. So the cells from rats are 3D bioprinted. You can see that the cells form tissues inside the ink that shows that it is forming histomimetic, and then it is transplanted. We didn't see any immune response or rejection in that respect. We saw vascularization also. This is the status of this project. I request Dr. Jiku to say a few words about the commercial aspects of this.
Thank you. Very good morning. Feeling very honored to be here in front of the dignitaries and entire SCTIMST team and industry partners. And we took the technology from SCTIMST to MOU, and within 6 months we could launch the product. And within 6 months of the launch of the product, we could commercialize and start our sales. And I'm very proud to say that now we started to export the product, and we identified the international market distributors, and we are very happy to say that we are starting to export this products which we used to import so far. So it was a really indigenous achievement, and I thank to inventors and especially Dr. Anil Kumar Pia and Dr. Shaini Velavidan and the entire team for supporting this commercialization, and also to the director and entire system which has supported through funding and other helps. Thank you very much. Yes.
So morning all. So this is all about intracranial electrodes for use in acute and chronic electrocardiography. So basically these are electrodes actually placed in the brain after removing the cranium and all for measuring and recording ECG signals in the brain during the epileptic surgery, where we need to intervening with the removing some parts of brain during the chronic or refractory epileptic surgery. And the demand for the product is actually, so they remain the gold standard for delineating the epileptic tissue from the brain, where we need to remove some part of brain due to some refractory epilepsy episodes and all. And the main problem, the device is actually fully imported, and a single electrode costs something around 25,000 rupees, and for a single surgery it may cost something around 2.5 to 3 lakh for a patient. So, and these are disposables which cannot be used again. So, and cases of epilepsy surgery is getting around more and more prevalent in India, and we have more centers doing in India also. So these electrodes actually are basically platinum, iridium or stainless electrodes welded to MP35 wires in a silicon chamber. And you can see there are different types of electrodes available, like grid electrodes, stem electrodes, single point electrodes and all. And we have 2 patents for this design electrodes, and we have 2 design registrations, and we have 2 publications for substantive publications electrode, and you can see the annual evaluation also. And this technology has been transferred to Synaptico Technologies in Delhi. So we have the partner with us, so the Vikrant and Dr. Ashish. So I think they can comment on the status right now.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. So we are Synaptico Technologies, and we've taken this technology from SCTIMST, and Jitin has been very helpful to start this thing, and we're in the process of setting up the machinery and the other equipment required to manufacture this. Hopefully very soon we'll be able to commercialize this. We as a company are a group of companies into medical also, and we're in partnership with SCTIMST Jhajjar also. We're incubated, and we're researching on different AI-based projects also, and it will be very soon available in the market from our side. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so thank you so much. One more technology. So So second one is all about EPC, or we call external pneumatic compression equipment, a device. So basically, this is a device to prophylaxis for venous thromboembolism actually. So at current stage, the pulmonary embolism is the main preventable cause of death in ICUs and all. So what we thought is actually if we have a device which can prevent this venous thromboembolism happening and to ensure venous return, so we could prevent this pulmonary embolism happening, and the patients can have a very good improvement in symptoms in that kind of deep vein thrombosis and all. So this is a kind of device actually. It's a kind of two parts actually. We have sleeve and a device, a controller device. The sleeve will be wrapped with legs, and the controller device will be pumping the fluid to the chambers in the legs so that the proper venous return is being ensured from the deep veins in legs. So being pressed against the bones in legs. And the technology has been transferred to a company called End Products in Kerala. So we have patent granted, we have 2 publications, and they are actually nearing the commercialization technologies. So we expect the technology to be in market in very soon, in 3-4 months. So this is a very cost-effective alternative to imported DVD pumps and all. This costs mostly less than 25,000 rupees. Thank you.
Very good morning. So going to talk about the flow diverter stent. So this is a device that is used to treat cerebral aneurysms in the brain that are shown over here. So these are bulgings in the blood vessel which can rupture and can lead to blood getting into the brain tissue, which can be quite harmful or even fatal. So to treat such diseases, it's a minimally invasive procedure that is used, which is called the flow diverter stent. So we have already transferred this technology to Mrs. Biorad, and colleagues from Biorad are here. And the clinical PI for this project has been Dr. Jaydevan. And then the treatment is, it's a passive treatment in the sense, if there is an aneurysm, you place the device here, most of the blood goes through the parent artery and very little of it goes into the aneurysm, so that the aneurysm slowly heals off thrombosis and heals off. There are other ways to treat the disease, that is using clipping. It's a surgical procedure. It is quite invasive. And in some cases such as coiling and embolization is not possible. Their flow diverter stent is quite. So this is the device that has been developed at Sri Chitra. Completely indigenously, we have braided it ourselves. The braiding system has also been developed, and we got a unique pattern which we call the checkerboard pattern. And this pattern gives us very little kinking and no reduction of cross-sectional area while bending it in the brain. So as you all know, the brain vasculature is highly tortuous. There are so many bends inside, and when this device is placed there, it has to be in a bent structure. And it also has an improved radial strength and enhanced radio opacity, thanks to the unique design where we have a set of thicker wires that can be radio opaque. So here we have the delivery system also. So for any of these minimally invasive devices, the delivery system is also very important. So we have developed the delivery system as well, which has got a thickness or a diameter of only 0.6 mm, so that it can be introduced through a microcatheter of having a OD of 0.7 mm. And the next device, the 2 devices again, which has been transferred to Biorad. So this particular device is called atrial septal defect occluder, and industry partner is again Biorad, and the clinical PI is Dr. Bijulal. And both these technologies, we had CSIR NAL also as the partners. They helped us in the nitinol heat treatment as well as some aspects of electropolishing and so on. So to introduce what is atrial septal defect, it is a defect in the septum that separates the left atrium and the right atrium, causing mixing of blood. So you have on the left side there is oxygenated blood, on the right side there is deoxygenated blood. There is a mixing that can lead to overloading of the right heart, as well as less amount of oxygenated blood in the whole systemic circulation. So to close this, either this can be closed surgically, but already the occlusion device which is has been made, which is made of nitinol, the gold standard that has come up, and it's called Amplatzer. So it was more or less an indigenization effort. We came up with a braided device, And we have come up with some unique properties for the braided design, which is a hubless left atrial flange. There is no hub, so it promotes the healing. And there is a soft ridge on the periphery of the left atrial flange that allows less of atrial roof erosion. And of course, there are some patterns that eventually appear. And also, we came up with the delivery system also, which has got an oblique angle of approach to the septum during delivery, which reduces the risk of migration. So this shows the delivery system as well as the device. And for the minimally invasive technology, we have got 12 Indian patents and 7 international patents that have been granted. Especially for the ASD occluder, we have 2 Indian patents and 1 for the delivery system and 3 international patents. As well as for the flow diverter stent, we have 1 for the device and 1 Indian patent for the delivery system, as well as 4 international patents. So we are very happy to say that our technology has been, or the novelty has been accepted in South Africa, US, European Union, as well as in India, our own country. So let me hand over to our Biorad team. They'll be able to speak a few words, invite them to speak a few words about this technology.
We are still working on both of these products, and I think the ASD is nearing to completion, and the flow diverter will take some more time, but both of them will be commercialized quickly, is what I feel. So Sri Chitra has provided us this technology, which we are working with them and will continue to work to make it a success in the near future and make it marketable. That's what we are.
Must say we are in interesting times. You know, it's the statement of our Honorable Prime Minister of creating an Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is bringing in us the we have that josh today to make something in India. So the flow diverter is something that nobody imagined would be made in India so soon. It has always been a device that had come from the West. We were importing it and selling it here. And what Sri Chitra has given us is a dream that these devices can be made here and we can sell them, and we can truly realize the potential of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. So yes, we are working on it. There are certain small pitfalls that we are trying to pass on. And once those are done, I'm sure in the near future we'll have both the devices come here and we'll have Indian patients having Indian made devices. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll be presenting the plasma product, that is the blood derived product. We all know blood is a very rich source of the proteins, and after the blood cells are isolated, the plasma remains as such. So this plasma is very rich source of different proteins, mainly fibrinogen, thrombin, albumin, different factors, platelets and growth factors. And their applications is enormous into the surgery, liver diseases, snake bites, skin and dental applications, ulcers and trauma. So here at Thrombosis Research, we come with plasma products. Mainly we isolated the 4 different plasma proteins, fibrinogen and thrombin. When they put together, they can stitch any wound, surgery, any application. So after the viral screening, the fresh frozen plasma was isolated, and then from the same pool of plasma, you can get fibrinogen as well as thrombin. It is filtered and it can be put together as a fibrin sealant or as a individual protein components. The other proteins, albumin and IVIG, the technology is currently transferred to the Synapticore Private Limited, who are vigorously working with us to get into the commercial space. And now I'd request our industrial partner to say a few words on that.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you very much Dr. Anugia for introduction. So basically we are Panisha group of companies. Our main business was into cyber security, so we are working in this domain from last 13 years and has presence in more than 60 countries among top 32 countries across the globe. But we ventured into healthcare industry back in 2022 when we started working with aims on different AI related products related to neurosurgery, and we finally ventured into healthcare products category this year itself when we got 2 licenses, for one for intracranial electrodes and other for blood plasma proteins. We are in the process of setting up the factory. We are already have some tie-ups with AIMS. One of our group companies also incubated at AIMS Jajjar. So we are working closely with the AIMS to get this technology along with the Sri Chitra, who has transferred us the technology and also is guiding us across the time whenever we require. So we'll be commercializing this technologies very soon, and will be among the few players in the market. Thank you.
Good morning, respected dignitaries. I am here to present about the advanced wound care product based on chitosan. As we all know, chronic wounds are difficult to heal, especially infected wounds. In case of infected wounds, the different type of microbes may be attacking that wound. And in this product, what is the advantage is that the clinician can identify what kind of microbe is inside that wound, and the exact antibiotic can be loaded onto this wound dressing that can be applied. So the unique feature is that this is a chitosan based project which has a high swelling capacity, and another feature is that it has reactive oxygen species scavenging property. That is, an antioxidant molecule is conjugated to the chitosan, and because the presence of the ROS often impedes the wound healing. And because of this antioxidant, it can scavenge the ROS, it can promote the wound healing. And the antimicrobial drugs can be loaded and it can be applied to the site. And this particular feature is that it can deliver the drug for 48 hours continuously. And it can be made into any size and shape which can fit into the wound site. An Indian patent is granted, and the technology is transferred to Vranova Biotech, Mumbai, and the scaling up process is being initiated, and they expect to deliver this product, commercialize this product within 9 years.
Good morning all. I'm Dr. Harikrishnan. I'm here to present the product of mice transfer and enrichment box tunnel system with securing gates. About the product, before explaining about the product, actually laboratory mouse is the most used species which is used in proof of concept studies and in preclinical toxicology in the process of drug development as well as in biomedical device research and development worldwide. Actually, the mice is being lifted by their tails as a practice to handle them, and this is proven to be causing very high levels of anxiety, aversion and stress in animals. And the data obtained from such stressed animals can be skewed and can be false. So, and moreover, infectious studies and tumor studies, etc., when modeled using the mice, when they are cage transferred and handled directly by personnel, can cause a high risk for humans by transmitting infections to the personnel who are handling them. And our innovation of a simple device actually reduced the stress in mice, which we proved by several methodologies like fecal corticosteroid assessments and many behavioral trials. And this is a very novel concept that has never existed globally, and it attracts the laboratory mice to naturally take shelter into the device when they are attempted to be handled or transferred. And it looks something like this when they transfer the mice from cage to cage. The concept is very well received globally, and international site which is very famous to host databases in laboratory animals regarding laboratory animals from Norway has published our invention in their news very recently. And the technology is transferred to Citizen Industries from Ahmedabad on May 10th, and now the product is currently in production and will reach the market very soon. Our industrial partner is traveling to US and has not been able to be present here. So I am the only one who is representing this product. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I am Subhash Anand from Sri Chitra. With me is our industry partner Nitish from Invasive Technologies Private Limited. Together we are giving a glimpse of the coronary stent project updates from Sri Chitra. So the problem statement and pain point which we are trying to address is the coronary stenting associated with heart attack. Even though there are around 9 lakh plus stents has been consumed in India last year, the problems due to late stent thrombosis, that is the reoccurrence of blockage at the location, still persist. So we are offering two solutions. First is a traditional route, the drug-eluting stent with a proprietary design. The second is an innovative titanium nitride coated coronary stent. So as shown in the picture, our product has two features and each features comes up with multiple benefits. So the first one is the proprietary design. So this has been patent secure. The product coronary stent is introduced inside the blood vessel through a keyhole, and at the time of expansion there are chances of small injury happens during the expansion at the site, which may lead to late stent thrombosis, which is one of the pathway. So with this proprietary design we have minimized or reduced that particular failure mode. And the second one is a proprietary titanium nitride coating, which is actually a spin out of our successful second generation heart valve model. So together with our industry partner we have identified the market opportunity. So total around 7 lakh plus coronary interventions and 9 lakh plus implantation has happened in India in 2024. The data is available from 1,400 plus cath labs, which is an ecosystem which we need to implement this product. And through our industry partner we target to achieve 10,000 coronary stent sales after the approval from CDCO. So we are waiting for an approval from CDCO. The team consists of various divisions and departments from Sri Chitra, and academically we collaborated with the ARCA for initial coating of titanium nitride. Together with our industry partners we have identified medical grade vendors all across the country, and the MOU has been signed for the scale up production. So in Chitra we through the TRC project has carried out extensive in silico studies, in vitro studies. We have established all the test systems as per international standards, and after successful completion of the acceptance criteria we moved to the large animal evaluation and subsequently histopathology studies. Followed by that we have transferred our technology to our industry partner. So this is how we position our product compared to the MNC global products which are available in the market. So there is no drug, no polymer. Based on our initial studies, it indicates there is minimal or no late stent thrombosis, there is no restenosis, and the complications due to metal ion elution is also prevented when compared with the existing products. So coming to the business model, in India there is a price regulation by the National Pharma Pricing Authority with a target cap of around 40,000 rupees. We are also targeting in that cap. And the initial phase, due to the scale of economics, we are planning to move with contract manufacturing. After the commercialization has happened, there is a plan to set up a factory. So this has generated technology transfer revenue, has been awarded multiple awards such as BRICS Young Scientist Conclave, Boeing Build Award, Aegis Graham Bell Award, and multiple publications and patents. And now ITPL is working on the licensing and regulatory pathway. So let me introduce Nitish from ITPL.
Good afternoon all. We are planning to launch our drug-eluting stent on coming January 2026, and we are waiting for the approval from CDSKO. So mostly this month and next month we will get the approval, and we will be launching our drug-eluting stent in 2020 January. Thank you.
A very good morning to all of you. So this project is an adaptive trolley e-drive. I'm Dr. Smita from the Department of Anesthesiology. So this is a collaborative project between our department, the BMT wing, and the Government Engineering College in Barton Hill. So what we were trying to do, suppose we as anesthesiologists are involved in transferring of very sick patients from the ICU to multiple places like the cath lab and MRI. So what if we have to transfer a patient like this in an equally heavy trolley fitted with oxygen trolleys, other medical equipments, portable ventilator, etc., through steep ramps in the hospital, and you have like people like one or two of these girls to help us. So what we did was to make a universally connectable electric powered machine which can be connected to any patient stretcher and converted to electric trolley. So this was our initial design. This basically is has a machine with which drives on hub motors and has a universal adapter which can lift the trolley off the ground so that it can take over, and it have clamps which we can attach to any sort of patient stretcher. It is space efficient and has a driving unit which has accelerator and also brakes attached to it. The battery pack provided gives power to both this machine and also to other monitoring devices and the electric equipments which is required to shift this patient. We have additional safety mechanisms like a stop switch and also speed limiting, and it was meant to carry a load capacity of approximately 250 grams. So this was a prototype we made in the mechanical workshop, and the product is transferred to entrepreneur, which is Aquasis Software and Consultancy Private Limited.
Good morning, everyone. Now I would like to talk about another product, infant warming wrapper and bassinet. We know that in India there are a lot of premature born babies. They are having less body weight and born at the month of maybe 7th or 8th month of their period. These babies are very light in weight. They may have only 1.5 to 2 kilograms of weight. Because of their very less content of fat in their body, they have large amount of heat loss. So this heat loss need to be prevented to have a mature growth for the baby to happen. Because of that, these babies have to be kept in neonatal ICUs, which are very costly affair for patients who are coming from low income settings. Globally, it has been proven by WHO and many other clinical guidances are there that the best approach for this would to have skin to skin contact. This is called kangaroo mother care. But unfortunately, a baby when is kept in neonatal ICU, this is also getting prevented. So another approach which has been developed or practiced worldwide is like to have a plastic enclosure, something which can prevent the heat loss from the baby. And this one would not have the compensation of heat loss. Even if it is there, a little bit of heat loss is there, that may not be there. So what we have invented is we have made a technology with infrared warming, which is based on infrared light emitting diodes, which are dispensed throughout a plastic pouch. So this can prevent the heat loss from the baby as well as can compensate for whatever loss is happening in between. So this is extremely safe, lightweight, affordable and disposable. This is one of the disposable baby warmer, and we have got multiple patents for this technology. And this is a low power device, so there is a high safety level for the fire hazards and many other issues which may happen because of the warmers, large number of warmers which are used in the NICUs. Multiple levels of safety features have been incorporated into it, and one of the beauty of these devices, this can be transported between rooms in a hospital or from one hospital to another hospital when the warming is happening. So this warming while transportation is one of the unique feature of this particular product, and this can be used at home or in a primary health center approach. That's also there. This has been compliant to multiple guidelines and the IEC and ISO standards, and we have got multiple patents also for this technology. Currently, this technology is under scale up by our industrial partner Mrs. Keltron, Kerala Electronics Limited. The company has now received the test manufacturing license from CDSCO, and the third-party license, third-party evaluation in TUV Rayland is already in process. Hopefully, next week we get the report from TUV Rayland, and they would be going forward for the manufacturing soon and clinical trials by next year. This is the product, and an extension of the product has been made with a similar technology to have long-term use of this device, it's called infant warming bassinet. So these two devices are going to come to the market with an underlying technology of infrared warming. Yeah, the next product is an automatic contrast injector. This is used for coronary angiogram and angioplasty, primarily for observing any clots in the bloodstream in the coronary arteries. This is a conventional practice. They use a manual injector. What we have come up with an automatic injector. So this automatic injector could deliver the contrast agent right into the bloodstream and find out the blocks easily with the conventional practices in place. So this is being transferred to a company called Cyrix Healthcare, and they are scaling up is in process. He's our industrial partner. They are moving forward with getting the test license from CDSU, and hopefully by next year we'll conduct the clinical trials for this. And the next product is a blood flow meter for extracorporeal blood circulation, primarily in blood bypass surgeries and open heart surgeries. We need to measure the flow of blood passing through the circulation. This is extremely required for advanced blood flow regulatory systems in the future, for left ventricular assist device, for development of artificial heart and all. So this is a futuristic design. As of now, we are not having any, or it is not so common to have advanced pumping systems like ECMO systems or so in the country. So one of the limiting factor was the indigenization of this technology. So what we have developed in our country is a blood flow meter technology, which is going to have a very affordable technology for blood flow measurements. The industrial partner for this technology is Mrs. N Products Private Limited. The current status, we have completed all the evaluations, and the animal also we have completed. The scaling up is in progress in the company. Thank you.
Well, thank you for all the presentations. The minister has arrived, so I request you to be available the other side, on the other hall. Thank you so much.
इसका फॉर्म लंबा है ना, अभी नहीं दिख रहा है। इसको डंडी चेंज करें, एक जैसे हो जाएगा ना। इसका फॉर्म पे लाइट का पता नहीं चल रहा है।
Good morning, everyone. I request everyone to occupy the seats in the center. Sir, അങ്ങോട്ടിരുന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ empty ആയിട്ട് തോന്നും. I request everyone to kindly occupy the seats in the center.
सुप्रभात। यहाँ उपस्थित सभी आदरणीय अतिथियों, महानुभावों का आज के इस अद्वितीय कार्यक्रम स्वावलंबी नवोत्पाद आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए आविष्कार में स्वागत है। यह कार्यक्रम श्री चित्रा तिरुनाल आयुर्विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी संस्थान के आविष्कारों का एक संग्रहण है। जैसा कि आप सबको विदित है कि आवश्यकता आविष्कार की जननी है। हमारे देश के चिकित्सा उपकरणों की आवश्यकता की पूर्ति के लिए हमारे संस्थान ने इसकी स्थापना से ही चिकित्सा उपकरणों के क्षेत्र में स्वावलंबन को इसका ध्येय बनाया और आज हम यहाँ इसी ध्येय की सफलता का उत्सव मना रहे हैं।
A short glimpse into SCTIMST's legacy. SCTIMST was founded in the year 1976, born from the vision of integrating medical sciences and technology under one roof. Its roots trace back to the royal family of Travancore, whose generous contribution of buildings, including the historic Settlement Palace, laid the foundation for what has become a national treasure. Since then, it has grown into a triad of a tertiary care hospital, a biomedical technology wing, and the Achyuta Center for Health Science Studies.
अब मैं हमारे निदेशक प्रोफेसर संजय बिहारी जी से को उनके स्वागत भाषण के लिए आमंत्रित करती हूँ।
Good morning. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable President of the Institute, Shri Chris Gopalakrishnan, Honorable Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Chairman, Research Council, Shri Chitra, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, members of the World Health Organization, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, ISRO, Indian National Science Academy, Indian Council for Medical Research, NPL, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, IIT, AIMS, and other government institutions, members of the DST and SCTIMST fraternity and industry partners, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. This conference represents Swavalambi Navotpad, which actually means innovation for self-reliance. The unfolding world events have made us aware that we have to be self-reliant in our medical device products as we have become in space and in defense. A silent revolution has taken place over the last couple of years in medical device industry, and it is very exciting for our institute to be an integral part of this ever-evolving ecosystem. The honorable dignitaries on the stage have epitomized this very growth and revolution in science and technologies by the remarkably disruptive paradigm shifts that they have ushered in the medical device industry. The Department of Science and Technology, under the able leadership of Dr. Jitendra Singh and under the able guidance of Secretaries Dr. Ashutosh Sharma and Dr. Abhay Karandikar, leading the execution of ideas into concrete steps, have changed the landscape of medical device innovation in the country. Dr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, in his extremely humble and quiet demeanor, represents the citadel of inspiration that every entrepreneur in the country wishes to emulate. I would also, at this juncture, like to pay my homage to two giants in the development of medical device ecosystem, whom we recently lost to Providence, Professor M.S. Veliathan, our founder director, and Professor Dr. Rajagopal Chidambaram, renowned scientist and former principal scientific advisor and secretary, Department of Atomic Energy, and our former president. They were the first men in science in India who laid the foundation stone for this revolution that has been ushered in. I'm grateful to the audience in this hall. They represent the AEIOU of this tsunami in the medical device industry that has taken care, that has actually taken over this country. A stands for aspiration. E stands for epiphany, energy and enterprise. I stands for innovation. O stands for outreach. And U stands for union between doctors, specialists, scientists, engineers, industry partners, science administrators, and financial bodies. These medical devices represents the triumvirate of innovation, economy, and safety. They represent the blood, sweat, and tears of the innovators and industry partners chasing a dream. They represent an all-stakes-in, high-risk endeavor that has lasted a lifetime and include all categories of devices from Class A in vitro, low-risk devices to Class D, long-term in vivo devices that have been translated or commercialized to the industry. And they represent an indomitable spirit that has overcome every obstacle that has come their way. On behalf of the Institute, I'm grateful to the Department of Science and Technology for all their support and guidance in this journey and for starting TRC, or our Technology Research Center. Under the able guidance of Professor Ashutosh Sharma, then Dr. Harikrishna Verma, Head Biomedical Technology Wing, and under the tutelage of Mr. Muralidharan and Dr. Manoj Komath, the coordinators of the Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Technology Research Fund, introduced by DST, the Institute has come out with several medical devices that we hope will benefit the patients of India. I'm also grateful to the help rendered by our Deputy Director, Dr. Manikandan, Dean, Dr. Srinivasan, former Dean and Head of Central Analytical Facility, Dr. Roy Joseph, and Mrs. Sandhya, our Technology Business Division, and Mr. Rajkishan Rajan from our IPR cell for all the hard work that they have done. The achievements of the Phase 1 of TRC at SCTIMST are a testament to what we can accomplish when curiosity meets disciplined collaboration. 102 patent applications, 19 design registrations, and 35 technology transfers. We conducted 37 training programs and produced 34 publications with 203 technical personnel trained under Phase 1. Phase 2 of the TRC began in May 2023, expanding the portfolio to 56 projects across core segments: cardiovascular, neuroprosthetics, and heart tissue repair, orthopedics, and dental, with inclusion of select biological and combination products and in vitro diagnostics. Of these, 15 projects continued from Phase 1 to reach higher technology readiness levels. While 4 facility projects were established: a human amniotic bank, a usability engineering laboratory for medical devices, a common connected platform for infrastructure management, and a dedicated intellectual property management system. To propel Phase 2, a new project steering committee was constituted, and this was headed by Professor Ashutosh Sharma. The Phase 2 is set to continue till 31st of March 2026 as stipulated by Department of Science and Technology. A 3-year collaboration with World Health Organization has been initiated. Memorandum of Understanding with ISRO to develop Center for Space Medicine has been started. Center for Surgical Simulation and 3-dimensional medical imaging as well as digital health are coming up. In the last few years, almost 26 devices have just been translated and 5 have been actually commercialized. In our incubation TimeMed, nearly 25 startups have been incubated under the leadership of Mr. Balram. On this occasion, I thank all the industrial partners who are present today. I thank them for their continued faith in Sri Chitra Technologies and their commitment to bringing these products to the market. I've also realized that after the products have been translated, the amount of research work which goes into them to actually get them successful in the market is a completely new endeavor. And I'm grateful to all the industry partners for continuously doing it. One small request I have from Department of Science and Technology: the TRC and the TimeMed projects are proposed to be ending at the end of this financial year. And I request Karandikar sir to continue the funding to ensure that the medical device innovation is ably supported. Thank you. I express my Gratitude to the esteemed dignitaries and our guests present here for sparing their valuable time to encourage the innovators and the industry partners. Your silent background help and guidance has propelled this wave of medical device innovation. I'm also grateful to Indian National Science Academy, led by Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Dr. Brijesh Pandey, and Mr. Sunil Zokarkar for all the help rendered to us. Finally, to the comrade in arms who have gathered here today, I would like to quote a few lines from Swami Vivekananda, entitled, "The world is not for cowards. Do not fly. Look not for success or for failure. Join yourself to a determined will and work on. Everyone can keep calm in a cave or when asleep. Know that a mind which is born to succeed joins itself to a determined will and perseveres. Live in the midst of battle of life and reach the center. Anyone who has found his or her center cannot be moved." Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, President of SCTIMST and co-founder of Infosys, whose leadership and vision continue to elevate India's global standing in technology and innovation. Inviting sir for his address.
Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Dr. Ashutosh Sharma, Dr. Sanjay Bihari, staff members of Department of Science and Technology, Sri Chitra, INSA, other dignitaries, industry partners, my esteemed colleagues. It's a privilege for me to stand before you. You know, when Abhay Karandikar requested that I take over as the president of Sri Chitra, little did I know that so much work is being done at Sri Chitra. In fact, I agreed because it happens to be in Trivandrum, my native place. But then I realized that the work that is being done at Sri Chitra is world class. It will impact the world, and you know, the showcase that you see here today clearly reaffirms that you know, that commitment, the vision, and now I feel that we need to scale this up. So I just want to briefly say that I congratulate all the people involved in this. I compliment each one of you. From my side, whatever support is required to scale this up, I believe, you know, the department will also support you. The government of India will support you. We are at the right time because the investments in R&D is increasing from government. It's also increasing from private sources. We need to get the larger enterprises interested in taking these technologies to market so that the impact can be huge. We need to get this message across to many more forums and platforms like this. And I feel that you know, if India has to become a developed country, you know, Atmanirbhar is important, made in India to the world is important, and you know, this demonstrates the capabilities that we have, demonstrates what we can do. We just need to scale it up. I am very glad that I got this opportunity to participate in this. I again compliment and congratulate, and I thank the department, the government of India for, you know, really taking on this R&D agenda. You know, it's very, very heartening to see the commitment that the Department of Science and Technology, the government of India is making to support world-class research from India, and the numbers are staggering actually. So I'm extremely glad that, you know, ANRF is being set up, the RDI fund is being set up. You know, it's really heartening to see, and I think we are at the right place at the right time. Thank you very much and congratulations again.
धन्यवाद सर। आज के इस उपलक्ष्य पर हमारे साथ SCTIMST अनुसंधान परिषद के अध्यक्ष एवं पूर्व सचिव विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग भारत सरकार प्रोफेसर आशुतोष शर्मा उपस्थित हैं। आपकी गरिमामय उपस्थिति ने इस प्रोग्राम की महिमा को बढ़ाया है। मैं माननीय जी से निवेदन करती हूँ कि वे सभा को संबोधित करें।
Good morning. This is such an exciting day. This is in fact a historic day. And so I'm so glad that Honorable Minister himself is with us on this day, as is the Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, as well as Dr. Chris Gopal Krishnan, who's been in fact championing a whole lot of initiatives in science and technology, not just here, but many different committees and so on. And then of course we have Dr. Sanjay Bihari with us, and all the 25 groups that have shown their products here is very, very impressive indeed. It's so impressive we could not have imagined something like this 10 years ago. This is when TRCs came into being. I recall that day. I still have very vivid recollection of that day, which was somewhere in January 2016, that 5 TRCs were established, and people were a little bit skeptical. They said, is it like, throwing what you call good money after bad money or some such thing? But I said, look, I mean, this is an experiment. The thing, if it's not going to succeed, then nothing is going to succeed. Why? Because the point in TRC is this, that there are some institutions like Sri Chitra and ARCI in Hyderabad who are actually ready to scale up their technology, but they just don't have the opportunity or space or money or the push to be able to do it. There are other institutes which have very high degree of intellectual the human resources, but those human resources are totally channeled into writing papers and stuff like that. How about introducing the excitement of developing technology, of having product? So imagine if all these very, very bright minds who are kind of Nobel Prize category brains, if they were channeled into technology, into producing things with their knowledge, converting their knowledge into socio-economic impact, then this would bring great returns to our efforts. So this is how TRC started, and I'm very happy to see that what was once a file has now translated into all that stuff. This is always an amazing thing to see, because when you write something on a file, you just think, well, really, you don't know what meaning it actually has. So it has come up very well. I must congratulate all the PIs and all the teams, and this is just the beginning, because if you were to look at the legacy of your institute, I mean, there could be very few, I doubt there are many better examples, or you look at the personalities that drove that DNA which constitutes the institute now. So I have had the good fortune of working with Dr. Veliathan. What is very, so I mean, this is so relevant. The reason I'm saying this is not because of a person or a persona. What is important is that Dr. Veliathan, he was a holistic scientist. So he went seamlessly from basic science to being a top clinician, to being a top administrator and building of institutions, and at the same time not close-minded. So he even pioneered the biology of Ayurveda in this country. So I've had many discussions with him on this. In fact, in 2016, the then principal secretary in PMO had called a meeting on biomedical devices. And we said, what is wrong with us? We are importing 85% of biomedical devices. And why is that? So Dr. Veliathan actually had produced a report which was sometime before 2015. And I had gone through every page of that report. And the point is, we now understand what the pain points are. And pain points, they are related to regulation, they are related to standards, they are related to clinical trials, they are related to market, they are related to direction and relevance of the research and all of that. So this was an eye-opener. Of course, Sri Chitra introduced, a pioneer in introducing even the blood bag. I mean, imagine that this is a low-hanging fruit. And we have seen many low-hanging fruits in COVID-19 time, that we could have done those things 10 years ago, but we did not. We did not do it because there was no shared purpose, there was no triple helix. Ventilators, PPPs, N95 masks, diagnostics, vaccines, what have you, all of them could be developed very fast, but they could develop very fast because government, industry, and academia were working together with a shared purpose. So this is what one sees in Sri Chitra Institute today. This is a great opportunity, truly great opportunity to actually not only work on low-hanging fruits and things which are of relevance locally, of course one has to do that, but also become a pioneer in some of the areas globally. And those areas, because it's a unique opportunity, clinicians working with engineers, working with academicians. So all of that kind of opportunity is not there in many places. So if we can really leverage that opportunity, then we could be leaders globally, not just in what's going on here. For example, talk about AI in medicine, and we have seen some demonstration of it. But when you look at MRI images, so a whole lot of that, because a whole lot of population does not have access to radiologists. So your AI chatbot can actually do all of that stuff with these MRI images, so one could develop that. Thinking of AI, I'll just conclude very quickly. Thinking of AI, it told me a joke about biomedical scientist when I was sitting there. So he said, hey, this biomedical scientist, why did he dump his girlfriend? He says, because he wanted to make a lateral shift from toxic culture to cell culture. See, it's getting better all the time, these chatbots. And the other day, I had to give a Foundation Day lecture in Patel Chest Institute. And I don't know anything about chest. I'm a chemical engineer. But while going there, I consulted AI chatbots, and they told me everything about what's hot in chest research. So I could pull it off. I could give a Foundation Day lecture there. And then the doctors were asking me, how do I know all this? I said, I know this because of a ChatGPT. And you guys should also consult it every week to see what's really going on in your business. Thank you very much. Indeed, that I'm so happy to be a little part of this journey together with Sri Chitra and all the great things which are happening there. Transdisciplinary research, especially despite the heavy patient load and clinicians getting into it. This is so wonderful. I have no doubt that this is going to scale up, this is going to get better and better, because it's a culture which is the foundation. You see, it is not IQ, it is not training, it is the culture that makes it work together, is the behavioral aspects, and those are changing very rapidly. So with that change would come the new products, will come new technologies, would come greater access of these technologies to people, other word democratization of science that we do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we extend a warm welcome to Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, who has been a champion of indigenous innovation and a key architect of India's science and technology roadmap. Inviting sir for his address.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable President of Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences and Technology, Dr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, former Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and currently Chairman Research Council of Sri Chitra, Dr. Sanjay Bihari, Director of Sri Chitra, the entire fraternity of the Institute, the industrial partners and my esteemed colleagues from the department and also from the collaborators of the Sri Chitra. First of all, let me begin by congratulating the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Science and Technology, who has been forefront in developing the biomedical devices and technology. This is a very unique institute which works at the intersection of engineering, technology and medicine. And this is the only medical institute which is not within the purview of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, but within the Department of Science and Technology. In this context, as Dr. Sanjay Bihari mentioned, that Sri Chitra has been known for pioneering Sri Chitra Heart Wall and many other such products which have been commercialized and brought down the therapeutic scare and also in terms of diagnostics, a kind of revolution in the biomedical devices. Now, the Technology Research Center, which both Professor Ashutosh Sharma and Dr. Sanjay Bihari mentioned, has been instrumental in accelerating this development further. And I'm confident that in the coming years, these technologies will be commercialized either through licensing to the industries or by spinning it off as a startups. The Government of India has been now investing significantly in R&D through the Anusandhan National Research Foundation and also the recently established Research Development and Innovation Fund, which will be directly investing in the private sector R&D. This fund is expected to get operationalized in next month or so, and then many of the products and technologies which we see it here will become really the candidate projects for getting funding from the RDI for scaling it further. Once again, I would like to appreciate all the industry partners who are here today, because they are really the key to taking this technology out of the lab and commercializing it. I would like to thank each one of you for your commitment to the cause of developing indigenous technology in the country. And Dr. Chris Gopalakrishnan mentioned that he accepted the DST's invitation to chair this. As all of you know that Chris Gopalakrishnan, being the co-founder of a highly successful tech company Infosys, so we really brought him here to see that his experience and guidance can help in commercializing some of the technologies which are being developed in the institute, and I'm confident that the entire Sri Chitra fraternity will be able to leverage his expertise and mentoring. So once again, thank you very much for inviting me here and for showcasing the technology. I hope that the entire community of Sri Chitra, that is the clinicians, doctors and engineers, will be able to drive this momentum further, and also will be able to collaborate with other institutions and the industries in the coming years to come to develop a successful ecosystem of medical devices and healthcare technologies. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you, sir. Next is the moment to express the Institute's gratitude to all the dignitaries present here. To do the honors, I would like to request the head BMT wing, Dr. Harikrishna Verma sir, to hand over our token of appreciation to Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh.
अब मैं हमारे उपनिदेशक मणिकंठन सर से निवेदन करती हूँ कि वे प्रेसिडेंट अध्यक्ष श्री क्रिस गोपाल कृष्णन सर को टोकन ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन दें।
Next, I invite our Associate Head, Engineer Muralidharan sir, to give away the token of appreciation to Professor Ashutosh Sharma sir. Next, I invite our Dean, Professor Srinivasan K. to hand over our token of appreciation to Dr. Abhay Karandikar, sir.
धन्यवाद। यह हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे साथ इस सभा में माननीय मंत्री महोदय श्री जितेंद्र सिंह जी, विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी तथा पृथ्वी विज्ञान राज्य मंत्री, भारत सरकार उपस्थित हैं। उनकी उपस्थिति ही आज के दिन के महत्व को प्रतिपादित करती है। माननीय जी का भारतीय राजनीति, विज्ञान और प्रशासन पर अमिट छाप है। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करती हूँ कि सभा को संबोधित करें।
President Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, Dr. Chris Balakrishnan, Secretary Science and Technology, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, former Secretary and President of INSA, Padam Shri Ashutosh, our very dynamic Director, Dr. Sanjay Bihari, members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is what happens when a group of reluctant people get together to take up a venture, and then they have to prove with vengeance that they were not reluctant. Chris Balakrishnan took it because that was his native place, so he had to be a president somewhere. You know, at some stage of, because I am also from the same stream, having been part of this now, of course, incidentally in a different responsibility. So after 3-4 decades, you know, now you are, you know, in a position to be chancellor of a university or president of some kind of an institute. So he was there, but not really keen to move out of the native place. But once he was into it, he realized how important, precious was he to us and how he could add value to this. Then Dr. Abhay was exploring all kinds of avenues within and outside when we had the selection process going on, and then I managed to call him and catch him. I think he was traveling abroad. I said, you have to come here for an interaction. So he came in as a secretary, was not very keen for an extension, but we have him again for 1 year. Sanjay Bihari was toying with the idea of either becoming director of one of the new AIMS or also had the offer of becoming member of the National Medical Council. And then finally, being a neuro person from the neurology, we suggested to him, and I'm glad that that actually tempted him, because he was working at the Sanjay Gandhi Institute in Lucknow. And then I was skeptic that he might run away. So, to be very frank, I sent a word and he was courteous enough to come over to North Vlogs. We had a detailed, I said, I hope you're not going to join Chitra just to add to your profile and then get the better of us. So he said, no, I have, because it's also my clinical interest. But I'm glad, as Dr. Abhay was rightly mentioning, and for me as a clinician, it's always a delight to be a part of any of the programs associated with this unique institute, which rightly, as Abhay said, this is possibly the only kind of institutes in the country. And in fact, in many ways different, or shall I dare say even superior to AIMS, in the sense that this is the only institute which is dedicated to 3 domains of medical science: teaching, training and treatment. So all the 3 treat, and may I add 4, the trade. So teaching is also happening, training of the teachers also happening, and treatment also happening. And at the same time, manufacturing to generate trade for the country. And this is a kind of a concept which is now gradually evolving in this country, which is there already in some of the Western countries, but it was new to India. And though Abhay, the only other institute, of course, Abhay has rightly said that it is not part of the health ministry. I don't know what he meant by saying that, because I can't be saying that at the risk of being interpreted otherwise. But I hope he meant that it was good rather than bad. That it was. The other institute, which is not part of the health, is also doing equally well. It's come out as unique of its kind, and incidentally, I'm associated with that one also, is the Tata Memorial Center, Mumbai, which is part of the Department of Atomic Energy. It's affiliated to that. So that's also the first institute. I'm glad both these institutes have made a distinct place for themselves. In fact, that is the institute which was the first to go paperless, filmless, and cashless. So way back in 2015, I sat with the then superintendent. We devised a method, because you don't know where, because this is something which can be emulated even in Trivandrum there. So we didn't know which background the patient would come from. So we developed a kind of a hospital slip incorporated with the chip of the amount. So you could ask the patient कि कितने पैसे का लेना है card, 100 का, 500 का, and then wherever he went, for example, for a unit test, the technician there would swap, and automatically it will get detected, and that will contain his record. When he goes for a consultation to a different person, he doesn't have to carry the file, he just, the ID number is there. So that is a great personal gratification also, because we had to live up to the expectation of doing well in spite of not being supported by the infrastructure that is available to the Ministry of Health. Now, the idea of having this is that this is all that I am saying, and what has been said by the others is hardly known over here, and not much known across the country, much less here in the capital city of Delhi. I'm not sure if you do a general survey how many people will be able to actually figure out what is this institute, where it is located. Because, and the reason is that we have a team over there which is so dedicated to their work, they hardly have time to keep beating their drum. And the location is far off from the buzz of the national capital. So I only suggested to Sanjay, and now in fact I suggested to him that next time, I mean, learning from this experience, we could have a showcasing of all these gadgets that we have developed in partly some central place. We could also invite some NGOs, some civil society members, even public representatives across the sections, so that they know what is there. And I know how many of us in this room realize that this institute is actually living up to many of the flagship goals of Prime Minister Modi. You are producing devices, gadgets, instruments which were hitherto being imported. So you are in a way contributing to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Then at the same time, you are also producing cost-effective devices, valves, etc., which you are making available to the rest of the world, which means you are living up to Vishwabandhu Bharat. And then you are also generating tremendous amount of revenue from this, which means you are contributing to the making of Viksit Bharat. So if you realize that esteem, you are not only serving the cause of the ailing mankind, you are actually serving a larger cause of the building of the nation. And therefore, I think very soon we'll plan better showcasing, a little more of drum beating, so that we are made. And we have sought to make our social handles more active, because that is the modern or the contemporary way of reaching out to the stakeholders. It's not only for publicity, also that they should know that what is there available. Because I was telling when I went through, somebody showed me that hemostasis patch. So I said I just saw it for the first time over 2 months back, following this brief warfare, because I was visiting some of the army hospitals for my own learning, because I keep doing that. So I wanted to learn how they had managed patients on the spot, and one of the young brilliant orthopedic surgeons showed me this. He said how he had done it on the spot. Right when the soldier fell injured, he could handle him there and save time to bring him to the sea. But then I assume, as was told, that must have been purchased from outside. Now if we have this, that means we need to scale up in quantity, so that everybody is able to make use of it. And at the same time also we need to have some capping of the cost, otherwise, because now we are also partnering with the industry in a very healthy way, but also expect them to contribute to the affordability of the healthcare across the country. And therefore I would say that now everybody across the world is fully convinced that the future economy is going to be largely technology driven, and therefore life size achievements will be the core. As I said, also the national goals, whether it's Atmanirbhar Bharat, and if you combine together, because I was telling him what the other stall that I saw was that stimulators in the brain. So I think we are also developing that in this Manesar Institute, but that is under DBT. So I think we have also to learn to the behavior, the attitude of coming out of silos. I visited all these institutes for my own learning, not that I am mandated to do that or I have to report to somebody. Like, for example, 2 days from now I am going to IIT Madras just to study the research park. So I went there because they have an MOU with AIIMS and they were using this trial. The same thing happening here. So we can also study where they stand, where we stand, where we could supplement. Many things happening outside the Department of Science and Technology. You are hooked on to Department of Science and Technology simply for funds, for money. As Sanjay was rightly saying that I hope they continue to fund us and continue to enhance. But academically and scientifically, you are allied to many other institutions which are also into the similar kind of research. And similarly, when we talk of self-reliance or make in India goals as far as our pharma sector is concerned, our instruments are concerned, our medtech sector as they call it is concerned, we have much happening in the Department of Biotechnology, which is providing at least 60 vaccines to 2,000 countries across the world. One of the, I think, the most striking examples of not only making India, but making for the world. And if you see the med sector overall in this country, without confining ourselves to what is happening in the DST or what is happening in the Chitra, currently, I was studying the other day, the med sector value of India is $12 billion US. But what is more amazing and more impressive is that the pace of increase is almost 20% per year. 20% per year, which means that if in 2025 we are standing at $12 billion US, in 2030 the projection would be almost $50 billion US. So going up by more than 4 times, which means it's not only expanding, it also creating export quality stuff. And therefore, if we integrate, and I'm sure next time Sanjay would take an initiative, of course, one is of showcasing to the stakeholders, and also calling a joint meeting of all these institutes which are also, engaged in a similar kind of work, so that we could have theme-based integrations. I tried that in CSII. I gave them a program called 1 Week 1 Lab, because the 2 labs didn't know, situated as just what the other lab was doing. And then the next year, I raised it to a different level, 1 theme, 1 week. So all the 37 labs are also overlapping. Now we could go across the ministries, particularly, in fact, as I was telling Abhay, even IIT, because what you were showing at the end of the skull part, and this is more of a physics and technology happening, and more of electronic engineering than medicine. But this is an amazing change, because in my times and all, you got a cadaver limb to dissect or a brain to dissect, and we were all, and that is the first, maiden class after you join a medical school. So if your heart trembles, your hand trembles just half a millimeter, you would cut the vein, cut the artery, and lose out the entire study of that, because you would not be, they would not be able to provide you another limb or another brain, because it will not be available in so much of plenty. Now you can, you have so much of ease of learning and ease of teaching. So this is something, not only the IITs, but even the teaching hospitals, the teaching schools should be brought on the board. So I think we would also plan something like that. And therefore it will be, in fact, the whole of science, whole of government, whole of nation, and of course the public-private participation. I'm glad that Sanjay brought all the partners here together. Much of the innovations or much of the creations that were demonstrated had been actually familiarized to me by Sanjay Behari a couple of times when I visited his institute, but I'm glad that I could meet the industry partners also, because without them it will be difficult to sustain. So both of us, both the sides need each other very badly, and I think you should also put out to the media some of not only your creations, also the extent to which you have catered. For example, the other day I was going through your statistics. You have provided heart valve to 2 lakh patients. That's not a small measure. So providing a heart valve which is also manufactured here. So that's the difference. And I'm not sure whether many medical hospitals, even those associated with the teaching schools like AIMS or government medical colleges, are actually aware that you have a valve. And similarly, you have provided shunts to 2,000 patients, and that to an MRI compatible second generation. And yes, of course, the WHO partners are there to acknowledge you. So this means that now within the science ministry, you have an extended integration. You have the DST, you have the ICMR, DRDO, CSIR, INSA, of course. INSA also can enlarge. I was, in fact, suggesting to Professor Ashutosh we could have a calendar of activities also in INSA, because possibly this appears sometimes to be underutilized, because many of the similar associations that we have, at least in the medical science, have a round-the-year calendar. In fact, the largest one, which is the Association of Physicians of India, which was founded by Dr. B.C. Roy, is actually producing a textbook every year, a revised edition for postgraduate students. So we could also engage in that, but I'm glad that he has taken the initiative of hosting this one. And also another initiative which I'm glad it was weighing on my mind, and I shared with him, to have a residential training for science administrators. We keep very fondly talking of lab to land, carrying technology from the lab to land, but we never talk of using or devising methods of carrying scientists to administration. Suddenly you place a scientist in the corridors of administration, and you don't actually work on that. You work on carrying technology or drug from lab to lab, but how does the scientist then pick up suddenly when he comes? So that also is applicable to the vice chancellor and the director. So I'm glad that we have planned through INSA course which would be dedicated, and we'll also try to link it with the capacity building commission, which was also brought in by this government about 3-4 years back. And therefore now the issues of having more funding or sufficient funding, Sanjay Behari said, I hope the funding would continue. But the point is, you also need to upscale your amount of funding. And for that, you don't have to look up to the government. Whichever the government in place, whichever the political dispensation, you cannot always depend. If we are looking to that destination of Viksit Bharat, we have to follow the strategies followed by the other nations. And most of the other nations who have done well have not looked up to government. In fact, they don't even have time. If it was an institute like Sri Chitra in, for example, US, they wouldn't even have time to call a minister, or they would say it's a waste of time. They would not even have time to reach out to the DST secretary, because they have such a self-sustainable ecosystem of funding. So that is something we have to develop, and for that I think the industry also needs to train itself. We also, because this is actually happening very recently. Only this government has opened out so widely to the private sector. Like the other day I was telling some of the industry leaders, I said, now it is time for you also to upscale yourself. Like for example, we have this year opened ourselves to the nuclear sector. Now tomorrow if I say I want to set up a nuclear plant, I want a company to come forward, where's the company? None. So again you go look back. So there has to be, and this is something called economic behavior. In fact, about 5 years back, the Nobel Prize for Economics went to an author who had done a thesis on economic behavior. So we need to also develop the mindset of not looking at government for everything, but for, of course, for that we also need to have a well vibrant private public ecosystem. And I'm sure in course of time we'll also look forward to develop that. And ultimately I think the Sri Chitra should also take pride that it is not only contributing to the health of what is nowadays very popularly described as Generation Z or whatever, because they are going to be the prime citizens in 2047 India. But you are also going to contribute to the economy of India as we move on from rank 4 upwards by promoting medical tourism. And for that, we also need to reach out wider, at least within the length and breadth of this peninsula, because India holds the promise of emerging as a world-class, cost-effective global destination. And Sri Chitra and the institute like this can always take a lead in that ambitious endeavor. So thank you very much, Sanjay.
Thank you, sir. As we draw this inaugural session to a close, I invite Professor Srinivasan K., Dean of SCTIMST, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable President of the Institute, Sri Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan, Honorable Secretary for Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Honorable Former Secretary for Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Ashutosh Sharma, our Director, Dr. Sanjay Bihari, Head BMT Wing, Dr. Harikrishna Verma, all the representatives of industrial partners of SCTIMST, heads of the department, faculty members of SCTIMST, distinguished guests, members of media, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We gathered here on the occasion of Swavalambi Navodpad, Innovation for Self-Reliance, an exhibition of SCTIMST technology for the event on accelerating healthcare with indigenous medical device development, the Sri Chitra contribution, here at Indian National Science Academy Auditorium at New Delhi. There were a number of technologies that were transferred to the industry partners and were exhibited today to the most eminent personalities in India. Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, on behalf of all the faculty members and their team, the whole institute, respected sir, it is my privilege to thank you wholeheartedly. Sri Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan, the president of the institute and recipient of Padma Bhushan Award, is an inspiration to all the members of faculty at Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences and Technology. Respected sir, on behalf of the whole institute and the faculty members, let me thank you for joining us and gracing this occasion today, for sharing with us your valuable thoughts. Honorable Secretary for Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, is our guiding force from DST. We always remember with gratitude your contributions to this institute. Sir, it is an honor to thank you on behalf of the institute and the members of the faculty for agreeing to participate in this function. I thank Dr. Ashutosh Sharma, the Honorable former Secretary for Department of Science and Technology, for his presence and his support to SCTIMST during the tenure when he was a Secretary of DST. Thank you very much, sir, for agreeing to join us today. Our Director, Dr. Sanjay Bihari, has been leading us from the front even since he took charge. For this function, also, he has been instrumental in giving us all the support and encouragement for making this function a big success. Sir, we thank you from the bottom of our heart for all your support. Dear faculty members, I would like to place in record my sincere thanks to you for participating and making this event a grand success. Let me express my gratitude and thanks to all the industrial partners, guests and members of media for attending this program. Finally, let me express my gratitude to all scientists, staff members of DST, especially the Autonomous Institution Division, who supported and made the event great success. I would like to acknowledge MOH, IIT, Collaborating Institution, DST, other science bodies including ICMR, CSIR, ANRF, members of press. Last but not the least, I would like to place in record the contributions of the members and staffs of the Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi, who worked hard to make the event great success. Thank you.
धन्यवाद सर। इसके साथ ही कार्यक्रम अपने अंतिम चरण पर पहुंचता है। यहाँ राष्ट्रगान के लिए
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
सर आप यहाँ पे हो सकते हैं। हाँ, सब लोगों से निवेदन है कि आगे आ जाए। प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड टू हैव फोटो लाइक फॉर द फोटो फास्ट। हाँ जी।
प्लीज कम।
His back side.